Once upon a time, in the city of Benares, people loved to build birdhouses to welcome birds. It made them happy to hear the birds singing. The richest man in the city had a cook, who set up a birdhouse near the kitchen. A gentle pigeon lived there. The pigeon was careful and didn't eat meat. He avoided the cook because he knew the cook often roasted and boiled animals, including birds. Every morning, the pigeon left to find his food. He spent the day eating seeds and returned at night, content and peaceful. Nearby, there was a crow who was very different. The crow would eat anything and often got into trouble because of his reckless behavior. One day, the crow smelled the delicious food being cooked in the rich man's kitchen. He couldn't stop thinking about it and decided he had to have some. He started spying on the kitchen, looking for a way to steal the food. That evening, the pigeon returned home, satisfied from his day of eating seeds. The hungry crow saw him and thought, "I can use this pigeon to help me get some of that food." The next morning, the crow followed the pigeon. The pigeon asked, "Why are you following me?" The crow replied, "I like you and admire your calm life. I want to help you and learn from you." The pigeon said, "Your life is much more exciting than mine. You might get bored following me, and we don't even eat the same food. How can you help me?" The crow said, "We can go our separate ways to find food during the day, and come back together in the evening. That way, we can protect each other." The pigeon agreed, and they went their separate ways. The pigeon spent the day eating grass seeds and was content. The crow, on the other hand, spent the day eating worms and insects, but kept thinking it would be easier to steal from the kitchen. When the crow was full, he told the pigeon, "You spend too much time looking for food. Let's go home." But the pigeon kept eating, happy with his simple meal. For several days, they continued this way. Then one day, the cook received a delivery of fresh meat and fish and hung them in the kitchen. The crow saw the food and became greedy. He decided to pretend to be sick so he could stay behind and steal the food. The next morning, the pigeon was ready to leave, but the crow said, "Go without me. I've been sick all night." The pigeon replied, "I've never heard of a crow getting sick to his stomach. I think you just want to steal the meat and fish. But that food is for people, not crows. It might be dangerous for you. Come with me and be satisfied with what you usually eat." But the crow insisted he was too sick, so the pigeon left without him. As soon as the pigeon was gone, the crow flew into the kitchen and tried to grab a big piece of fish. But in doing so, he knocked the lid off the pot, making a loud noise. The cook rushed in and saw the crow with a huge fish in his beak. The cook, who was cruel, grabbed the crow and plucked out all his feathers. Then he rubbed a spicy paste on the crow's bare skin and threw him into the birdhouse. When the pigeon returned that evening, he was shocked to see the crow in such a terrible state. "You didn't listen to me," the pigeon said sadly. "Your greed has brought you to this. I can't stay here with such a cruel cook nearby. I have to leave." So the pigeon flew away, and the crow, in great pain, eventually died.